Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Professor Jorge Silva Perez, Interim Dean of CUNY SPS, Mrs. Blake Foote, Chair of the CUNY SPS Foundation Board of Directors, and other members of the Foundation Board who helped make this event possible. It is an honor to be here and represent this year's CUNY School of Professional Studies Museum Studies Scholars. We are deeply grateful to Dr. Luis Murr, President and CEO of the New York Historical Society, and the many generous donors who have made the school's Museum Studies Scholarship possible for me and my fellow scholarship recipients. As someone with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, otherwise known as ADHD, I find it hard and exhausting to focus on tasks at hand when I have too much on my mind. Centering my thoughts becomes even harder when I have how many hours do I need to work this month to make rent, and where will money for tuition come from circling my head. By helping to ease one of my burdens, you're providing me with a less inhibited space to pursue my goals. Over the last few years, I've been spending a lot of time getting to know myself in order to be kinder to myself. Ever since I was younger, I remember there were always kids who were naturally gifted, naturally good test takers, naturally good at getting from point A to Z. Even though I knew that there was always going to be people like this, and that that's actually a good thing, I still couldn't shake the feeling of defeat. It's heart-wrenching watching people progress while you aren't sure if you have reached the halfway point. It took time to understand that my brain takes in information in a different way than others, and that if I get excited and end up stuttering out my words because my lips aren't fast enough to keep up with my thoughts, that I can pause, take a breath, and try again. One step backwards doesn't have to be a mile. We all have battles that we are fighting. Declining health, poor living conditions, a bad social environment, but we tend to keep it to ourselves, take the lone soldier approach, and not ask for help, even when we need it. Yet, here we are, celebrating and acknowledging students who put aside their egos and asked for help. There was a point during my undergraduate career where I could hardly stand because I couldn't afford the right shoes, stood for long hours during my restaurant shifts, and walked everywhere to save money. Now, here I stand, delivering a speech, standing tall, wearing my mother's shoes, but that's besides the point. And I'm representing a program that at its very core is about togetherness. I, along with my fellow Museum Studies scholars, joined this program because we believe in change for the better, and the best place to start that domino effect of change is at the heart of society, museums. These institutions of learning, philanthropy, inclusivity, and innovation are pillars of accessible hope are pillars of accessible hope for the future, and we thank you for trusting us to ensure that. Through your generous support, you have buttressed our faith in ourselves. Before knowing us, you believed in us, and that is something that money can't buy. Thank you.